वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भवानी शंकरौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम् मधुसूदनं श्री रामरायं श्री रामरायं मधुसूदनं श्री रामरायं श्री रामरायं जय शंकरं जय शंकरं श्री विश्वेश्वरं श्री विश्वेश्वरं जय शंकरं श्री विश्वेश्वरं मधुसूदनं श्री रामरायं श्री रामरायं श्री रामरायं हयग्रीवं श्री कृष्णमूर्तिं श्री कृष्णमूर्तिं हयग्रीवं श्री कृष्णमूर्तिं श्री कृष्णमूर्तिं मधुसूदनं श्री रामरायं श्री रामरायं महाविष्णुं श्री पुंडरीकाक्षं श्री पुंडरीकाक्षं महाविष्णुं श्री पुंडरीकाक्षं श्री पुंडरीकाक्षं अज्ञाननाशक पूर्णचन्द्रं मधुसूदनं श्रीरामरायं विधिविधायक श्री विश्वरूपं विश्वतोता श्री विमलरूपं हंस परमहंसं मधुसूदनं श्रीरामरायं जयशङ्करं श्रीविश्वेश्वरं हयग्रीवं श्रीकृष्णमूर्तिं मधुसूदनं श्रीरामरायं मधुसूदनं We have the slokas of invocation. Please try to repeat. Sarva-vidya swarupaya Lakshmi samslishtha vakshase Madhupasana lakshyaya Hayagreevaya mangalam Shankha-chakra mahamudra Pustakadhyam chaturbhujam Sampurna Chandra Sankasam Hayagreevamupasmahe Jnananandamayam Ramam स्फटिकाकृतिम् निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं तत्त्वविज्ञानाम् हयग्रीवायितं नुमः हयग्रीवायितं नुमः Shankaracharya Navavataram Vishveshwaram Gurum Pranamya Vedanta Shastra Sravanadasana बोधाय कुर्वे किमपि प्रबन्धम् श्रीमद्हयग्रीव पदारविन्द कारुण्यमानन्द रसप्रसङ्ग Sidhantha Bindu Vipulikaromi Sidhantha Bindu Vipulikaromi Kavi home. All full nothingness. Looks very strange. One section of the statement says something, another portion of it says altogether something else. And that is a combination. All full and nothingness. But that is how it is. The divinity in its highest expression is all full nothingness. The divine self exists in all. How does it exist? As all. The divine self exists in all, as all. Meaning, it alone is everything. The divine self exists in all, as all. Meaning, the divine self alone is everything. And it is complete in itself. Without any becoming. You and I feel that we are incomplete in ourselves. That is why we get into the process of becoming. Right from the childhood onwards, it is told to people, you have to become something. By becoming something, you have to show that you are something. Then only I will think that you are something and something. This learning goes on. So, whenever an individual feels that one is incomplete, then naturally one gets into a process of becoming complete. So becoming complete is the main intention. So in order to become complete, one wants to become so many things. By becoming so many things and by accumulating all these experiences of becoming so many things, one will feel complete. This is the idea. But the truth is, how much ever we may accumulate of these becomings, we will never become complete. Because completeness is not in becoming, completeness is in being. That is why it is said that divine self, which is everything, is complete in itself without any becoming, simply by being what it is. Divine self is complete in itself without any becoming, simply by being what it is. What a beautiful thing it is. Simply by being what it is. It remains what it is, as it is. Because it is complete in itself. To remain as it is, what it is the main occupation of the divine self. Because there is nothing for it to become anything. It has got nothing to gain and nothing to lose. So, it simply remains in itself without any becoming. Simply by being what it is. That is why it is said, divine self is full without any incompleteness. It is all full. Completely full, all full. And another thing with it is, there is nothing other than itself. The divine self, which is all full, completely full, and there is nothing other than itself. Divine self alone is. This is the truth which is expounded by the scriptures. There is nothing other than itself. Whatever is there, which we perceive, it is nothing different from the divine self. Divine self alone is. And there is nothing other than itself. And listen, the understanding is, there is nothing other than it. When there is nothing other than it, there is no thing. There are no things. When there is no thing, when there are no things, there is nothing. Other than it, there is no thing. Different from it, there are no things. So when other than it and different from it, there is no thing and there are no things, there is nothingness. And that which is nothingness is all fullness. Only that which is all full can only be nothingness. There is nothing in it. Nothing can be in it. Because divine self alone is. This is the against the truth. So in order to understand that, we need various kinds of pointers, explanations. And very strangely it is also said, if that is all full and nothingness, we seem to gain some intellectual idea about it. In the due course of our discussion for a few minutes, we seem to gain some idea about it. So, we would want to know more about it. That is why you and I are here. We want to know more about it. What is this all full nothingness? No, we got some idea about it. So we want to know more about it. So when we say, can I know the all full nothingness? Then the answer is, it cannot be known. It cannot be known. Thank God you told it on the first day, in the beginning moments, so that we did not waste the rest of 17 days. 18 days. Nowadays, even 5-day test match, nobody is coming. 3-day test match also nobody is attending. 50-60 overs match also people are hardly attending, not 20-20. And you are 18 days. It cannot be known or perceived by the body, mind and senses. Meaning what it cannot be known means it cannot be perceived by our instruments of perception, body, mind and senses. Nothing can be said about it because there is nothing like it. If there is anything like it, we can say this is like Doctor. You can say Venkatrao is like Subbarao because both are similar in beauty, in tallness, in stoutness, in eloquence, in service mentality. So we can say he is like that. But here there is nothing like it. Divine self alone is and there is nothing like it. When there is nothing like it, how can we say this is like that? And our limited instruments of perception cannot know it. It is beyond these instruments. And Gurudev used to give a very simple example. Can the torch light, while it is lit, know the battery which is supporting it? If the light which is already lit by the battery wants to know the battery has to be removed. Then it cannot know. A simple example Gurudev used to give. But the important thing here is we have to go beyond these limitations of these instruments to actually know it. And in that state of actual knowing, there is neither knower nor known nor knowing. But there is that knowing. So, there is nothing that is happening to it, and there is nothing which is happening in it. To the divine self, there is nothing happening to it, there is nothing happening in it. Divine self alone is. This is the viewpoint from the highest level. And when we go deeply into the Dasa Sloki of Sri Adi Shankara, we will come across like that statement only. There is nothing happening to it, there is nothing happening in it. If there is nothing happening to it and happening in it, why are we here then? That is why we are here. So that is why divine self alone is as it is. When there is nothing happening to it and in it, there is nothingness. But is it nothing? It is all full. When it is all full and nothing happening to it and in it, all full nothingness. So all full nothingness. One professor said, fools ask so many questions which make the wise man go mad. Fools ask so many questions which make the wise man go mad. The student said, absolutely perfect, sir. Correct, sir. We also are in a similar situation during the time of our examinations. So when they are writing the examinations, they also think fools ask so many questions which make them go mad. Each one understands things in his own way or other way. Here we are trying to understand how the divinity is all full and at the same time nothing is in it. All full, nothingness. Everything merely exists as it was created. Now this is from a little lesser standpoint where the creation is being thought about. Earlier we thought only about the divine self where there is nothing other than it. But when we see around us, there is so much and we are also there. So we have to understand that from this standpoint. From that standpoint, it is all full nothingness. From this standpoint, there is so much that is seen. So you and I are here trying to understand that from whatever we know at this level. So everything merely exists as it was created, complete and perfect. Whatever is created, in itself it is complete and perfect. Everything fulfills its purpose by merely being what it is. Not only the divine self, whatever is created, everything fulfills its purpose by merely being what it is. That is why great masters, when they have understood that this is the ultimate goal of taking the human birth, they just remain as they are in the divine self, in awareness of the divine self, in pursuit of the divine self, in contemplation and meditation of the divine self, in practices connected with the divine self. They just remain as they are. They did not try to become anything else except being the divine self, which they actually are. That is why everything fulfills its purpose by merely being what it is. Everything is the fulfillment of its own essence and potentiality. The only requirement for anything that exists is just be. What a beautiful thing. The only requirement for anything that exists is to just be. Because we cannot just be, we got to become. That's all it is. When the divinity is all full, and that divinity is everything, and you and I are in that everything, which is not different from the divinity, and if we understand this, what else we have got to do? Just to be. How? Just to be as the divine self is. In awareness of the divinity, as divinity, in divinity, with the divinity. We can add anything. Because that alone exists. So for anything that is there in the creation, the only requirement, if it is existing, what is the requirement? The only requirement is to just be. क्या बोला रे लोग? यही बात हमारे बच्चों को बताए तो पढ़ना बंद कर देंगे. If we tell the same thing to the children, they will stop studying. And youngsters, they will continue roaming. They will not also try for a job. And everybody stagnates there. Nobody will try to improve. All the so-called doing is for what? To find the fulfillment. To find the completeness. To make the incomplete feeling complete. But after all that attempts, ultimately one is left with that sense of incompleteness and non-fulfillment. And then one comes to the feet of the great masters and under the shade of the mighty trees of scriptures. And then one will come to understand that all this so-called attempt to make the incompleteness complete is futile. Because the attempt itself is made by the ego, which is misleading, which is unreal, which is actually not a reality. So then what is the truth then? Just to be. Whatever we are, just to be. Whatever is the thing that exists, its destiny under the conditions of any given moment is already complete and fulfilled. Because divinity alone is taking care. As pure Brahman, divinity alone is. As Ishvara, manifesting or expressing as Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, creation continues. But in everything that appears in the creation, the main source of that existence is divinity. And that remains as it is. There is no change in that divinity. So for anything that appears in this creation, that exists in this creation, the most important thing for it is to become conscious of its source and be with it. That is all it is. That is the ultimate thing. Because we are not able to become conscious of our source and just be with it, we are trying to do so many things. And in the process, we gain some happiness and some sorrow, some misery, some joy, some fulfillment, some non-fulfillment, like that. Some peace and some peacelessness, we are trying to gain so many things. So it is said, that which it is represents the completion of all past possibility up to the very moment. So everything is the way it's supposed to be. When everything is in the way in which it is supposed to be, why are we worried? When things are not according to our plan, then we get worried. But here it is said, when we look at the creation from the angle of divine self, everything is in the way in which it is supposed to be. So what is the requirement there? Just to be. One owner of the house went to an estate agent and then told him that he wants to sell his house. I want to sell my house. The estate agent said, I will put up your house for sale through an advertisement. I will advertise for it. And we will see how the advertisement is. And then he prepared a beautiful advertisement and started advertising for the sale of this house. And this owner of the house comes back to the estate agent and says, I don't want to sell the house. The estate agent, why? Why are you saying now that you don't want to sell the house after a few days of advertisement? He said, I came across your advertisement. And when I saw it, my God, first time I came to know that my house is so beautiful. My house is such a precious thing to possess, to own, to buy, to purchase, to feel proud of. Till now I never thought that I am owning such a wonderful house. Only after reading your advertisement, then I became aware of the importance of the possession that I am having. I don't want to sell it. So, what happened to this person? He was the owner before, he is the owner now. But the way in which he looked at it changed completely. Earlier he had no interest in it. He was feeling sad and he was feeling unhappy about it and he wanted to get rid of it. But now suddenly with all that colorful advertisement, beautiful captions around and so much of nice explanation which inspires the buyer to buy it, you said, no, I don't want to sell it. No, it's such a beautiful, precious thing. No. So, even the divine self right now is like a house which one wants to sell. The divine self. Dasa. Scriptures are telling, masters are telling the same thing, man. If it is there, let it be there. Anyway, it is in itself, complete in itself. And nothing happens to it. And nothing happens in it and to it. So let it be there. So divine self has to let it be. Anyway, it is be. It just be. Let it be. हम तो क्या करते हैं? जो हम करना है वो करेंगे. वो रहने का हो रहा था. Divine self stays. I will do what I want to do. It will remain as it is. Understanding can be twisted in whichever way we want. But the truth is, we have to understand the presence of the divine self-ness in spite of so much that is happening around, how it remains the same at all times, in all places, under all circumstances. And if we are carrying that within us, from the standpoint of body, mind, senses, intellect, memory, ego, we have to say within us. So from this standpoint, if we are carrying that within us, actually that is us. And that is what is the main content of this Dasa Sloki. So, how to gain that proper understanding of it? One man was drawing something. So, his friend asked him, "What are you drawing?" He said, "I am drawing the replica of God." Replica of God. Then this man asked, "Did you see God?" "No, I didn't see God. But once my picture is completed, people will start thinking that it is God." The one who is drawing it doesn't know God, and people who are seeing also doesn't know how is God. So when he completes the picture with so much of decoration, so many things added into it, he thinks they will think it is God. He is ignorant. They are ignorant. Both are thinking a human being as a God. Human beings portrayed as a God. So ignorance does not give us proper understanding about what we are. It confuses. Lack of discrimination is the result of ignorance. And because of the lack of discrimination, so many things happen. Once a case came up before a magistrate. The magistrate looked at the criminal and said, "You committed 4 robberies this week? In 1 week you committed 4 robberies?" And the criminal said, "Yes, Your Honor, I am a very hard-working man." From his standpoint, from the judge standpoint, either 1 robbery, you committed 4 robberies, too much. And he thinks he is hard-working. It depends upon how we think and how we understand things. So then, one person looked at his friend who was a drunkard, drinking every day, and then he knows that this fellow is causing harm to his health. So the friend was concerned and then read a lot about liquor and its harmfulness to the body, and came to this person who is drinking, who is a drunkard friend, and told him, "Liquor is a slow poison. It kills the human being slowly." And that man said, "I am not in a hurry to die. Let me take it aram se and die sukoon se. I am not in a hurry to die." This friend is concerned to save him. That fellow thinks in another. When there is ajnana and then there is aviveka, we think like that. We think the untrue as true, the true as untrue. One of the main points in Dasa Sloki is we think anatma as atma, atma as anatma. What is self as not self, what is not self as self. Why? Because of aviveka and so before going into that, we will also see the meaning of the slokas of implication, because Dasa Sloki is also called as Nirvana Dasanam. But this is a beautiful scripture that is given out as a test of experience of the ultimate reality in oneself by Sri Shankaracharya. In front of his Guru, Sri Govinda Bhagavad. So, he narrated his experience of that absolute divinity in 10 slokas. Just 10. And for 10 slokas by 18 days, already that handout must be there with you. And in that handout, 10 slokas are there. You can read it in not more than 10 minutes. Like that. That's all. What is the Dasa Sloki, 10 slokas finished? But what happened is, Madhusudana Saraswati is a great scholar. He wrote a treatise on Dasa Sloki, which is very famous, called as Sidhantha Bindu, explaining the entire essence of Vedanta in trying to explain these 10 slokas. The entire essence of Vedanta, called as Sidhantha Bindu by Madhusudana Saraswati. Madhusudana Saraswati is a person who had Sri Krishna Darshana, actual darshan of Sri Krishna, and from that he got into a state of Advaita Tattva, pure oneness with the divinity. So naturally, when he writes Siddhanta Bindu, there must be something in it. Adi Shankara himself gave out the 10 slokas. We know what level Adi Shankara is. That also in front of his guru. क्या मालूम आपको थोड़ा बता? That's what his guru said. Tell me what you know. Then he said this: all full nothingness. Guru Swami. This fellow knows everything. And then upon that, Madhusudana Saraswati has written a treatise. Upon that, Siddhanta Bindu, a great Advaitic philosopher who was at Vishishtadvaitic before, Hayagriva Upasaka, Vellamkonda Ramaraya Kavi, who was living up to 1914, who is also called Apara Shankara. So many scriptural texts he has written. And he was Hayagriva Upasaka. Hayagriva gave darshan to him. 1914 is not very far. Same century. 1914. He merged into Brahman in the year 1914. And he was living in the state of Andhra Pradesh. There was no division then. So, he mentions that Hayagriva gave darshan to him and told him that pure oneness is ultimate truth. Advaita Tattva is ultimate truth. So, Madhusudana Saraswati had Krishna Darshana, Ramaraya Kavi had Hayagriva Darshana, and Ramaraya Kavi wrote a lucid explanation for the less endowed people whose intellect is not sharp. Madhusudana Saraswati says for those people who have no inclination to read all the scriptures, he has written a treatise on Advaita Vedanta. And Ramaraya Kavi says for those people who are dull-headed or less endowed, I have further simplified this. And he writes more elaborate explanation on Siddhanta Bindu called as Siddhanta Sindhu. Siddhanta Sindhu. Very beautiful, because those people who wrote them are those who experienced oneness with God. The one who originally manifested Dasa Sloki already was there in that Advaita state, even before he started learning anything from his guru. So, what a combination! Where can we get such a combination? Just think of it. Nowadays, anybody can write a little bit of scholarship. I can write commentary, somebody can write commentary, and then go on. But what about the true experiencer? That you don't ask. You read my commentary, then you will know how great I am. How great you are should be depicted in your personality, in your behavior, in your expression, in your presence. That time all you don't tell all feelings. To read what I have written, to listen to what I have spoken. Because I am not anyway what is written, and I have not experienced what is being spoken. So, if you look at me, you will not feel that. If you look at what I speak and what I write, maybe benefit of doubt you can be. But here people are not like that. Both have experienced the truth, like direct darshana also, and experience of that oneness with the Upasya Devata also. What a great thing it is. So Dasa Sloki then afterwards combined with Sidhantha Bindu of Madhusudana Saraswati, then conjoined with Sidhantha Sindhu of Ramaraya, 18 days also may not be enough. But everything in Vedanta is being told in a simplified style. So we will try to see the slokas of invocation. Sarva Vidya Swarupaya, Sarva Vidya Swarupaya, Sarva Vidya Swarupaya, Sarva Vidya Swarupaya, Lakshmi Samslishta Vakshase, Lakshmi Samslishta Vakshase, Lakshmi Samslishta Vakshase, Lakshmi Samslishta Vakshase, Madhupasana Lakshaya, Madhupasana Lakshaya, Madhupasana Lakshaya, Madhupasana Lakshaya, Hayagrivaya Mangalam, Hayagrivaya Mangalam, Hayagrivaya Mangalam, Hayagrivaya Mangalam, Hayagrivaya Mangalam. All auspiciousness to Lord Hayagriva. Hayagriva is always in state of auspiciousness. If we think of him, we will get auspiciousness. Hayagriva, the one who protected the Vedas from the so-called Rakshasas, and who is the source of all learning and knowledge. So when we think of him, naturally we will also get a portion of that learning and knowledge. Naturally. So we will also get that auspiciousness. So all auspiciousness to Lord Hayagriva means what? By saying this, you will also gain an experience of it. You will also be blessed by that auspiciousness. And Lakshmi Samslishta Vakshase, whose bosom is adorned by Goddess Lakshmi. His bosom is adorned by Goddess Lakshmi. What is that beautiful ornament there? Whose presence is making it much more wonderful, beautiful, more divine. Presence of Lakshmi. Lakshmi Devi is there in his heart. How beautiful it is. Lakshmi is there with him. So, whose bosom is adorned by Goddess Lakshmi. And Sarva Vidya Swarupaya, who is the embodiment of all knowledge. Embodiment of all knowledge. Whatever knowledge is there, that is there in him. He is the embodiment. He is the personification of that knowledge. He is a manifestation. If knowledge has manifested as something, it is he. He is embodiment of all knowledge. Knowledge also is there. Lakshmi also is there. All kinds of knowledge, all kinds of wealth. What more we want? What do we want generally in the world? We want more knowledge. Why? To find out more ways of earning. We want more learning for earning. So that our fate can get a turning. And we can reduce our heart burning and mind mouthing every morning. All kinds of knowledge, all kinds of wealth. And Madhupasana Lakshaya, and such a God is the object of my devotion. That's what says Ramaraya. What is his object of devotion? Such a God. And how is that God? Who is an embodiment of all kinds of knowledge, and who has got Lakshmi Devi as an ornament in his body. Chandra Sankasham, Sampurna Chandra Sankasham, Hayagrivam Upasmahe, Hayagrivam Upasmahe, Hayagrivam Upasmahe. I adore Bhagavan Hayagriva, Lord Hayagriva. How is he? Sampurna Chandra Sankasham, with his full moon like splendor. Full moon is splendorous. And he is like that with his full moon like splendor. And Shankaracharya Mahamudra Pustakadyam Chadurbhujam, and whose 4 arms are adorned respectively by the Shankar, the Chakra, the Mahamudra, and the Pustaka. The conch, the celestial disc, and the great Mudra, Mahamudra, and the sacred text. All these are there in him. Sacred text is full of divine knowledge. That very Mudra will give not only blessing to all the devotees, but if we also tune to that and remain in a state of meditation in that Mudra, then naturally we will also gain the blessings. Highest blessings. And naturally, the Shankar and Chakra, if they are blessing us, we would not have any obstacles, any obstructions, any wrong notions misleading us into various paths, distractive paths. Then, Jnanaanandamayam Ramam, Jnanaanandamayam Ramam, Nirmala Sphatikakritim. In one of the versions it is said Nirmala Sphatikantara, but in many versions Sphatikakritim, so we will hold on to that. Nirmala Sphatikakritim, Adharam Tattva Vidyanam, Adharam Tattva Vidyanam, Hayagrivayitam Numaha, Hayagrivayitam Numaha, Hayagrivayitam Numaha. I go down to Lord Hayagriva, who Nirmala Sphatikakritim. He is like shining like flawless crystal. A crystal that is flawless and full of shine. He is like that. Meaning Shuddha. And Jnanaanandamayam Ramam embodies knowledge and bliss. He is an embodiment of knowledge and bliss. Earlier knowledge, wealth. Now bliss also. So whatever we want, everything is there. And bestows joy on his devotees. His devotees, when they worship him, he gives joy. Whom do we like to meet again and again? Those people who make us comfortable, those people who make us feel good about us, those people who give us a very pleasant feeling. We would like to go and meet them again and again because we feel good in meeting them. We feel happy. So anybody giving us happiness, we would like to be with them. So here it is said the God gives joy because he is an embodiment of knowledge and bliss. He has that, so he is giving that. And somebody comes and says, oh, you are giving me suffering, you are giving me sadness. You have to say honestly, I have that, I am giving you. What can I do? Or at least in that moment I have only that. I am disconnected with other things. Or you are seeing only that in me. What can I do? Whatever it is. So Bhagavan gives us joy. To all the devotees, bestows joy. And Adharam Tattva Vijnana, who constitutes the source of all supreme wisdom. He is the source of all supreme wisdom. So if we go down to him, he will bless us with that supreme wisdom. Shankaracharya Navavataram, Vishveshwaram Vishwa, Gurun Pranamya, Vedanta Shastra, Sravanalasana, Bodhaya Purve, Imamik Prabandham, Bodhaya Purve, Madhusudana Saraswati offers his respects to his Guru who has bestowed him with great knowledge. He considers his Guru as the reincarnation of Sri Adi Shankara. Shankaracharya Navavataram Vishveshwaram Vishwa Guru Pranamya Vishveshwaram Vishwa Guru Pranamya Shankaracharya Navavataram. With prostrations to Sri Vishveshwara, who is a reincarnation of the Shankaracharya, and Vishwa Guru, he is the preceptor for the whole world, meaning the one who can uplift all the people from their worldliness and take them out of that worldliness and the samsara and make them revel in the divine truth, in the divine bliss and joy. Such a person is called as Vishwa Guru or Guru, not the one who without eligibility claim the title like that. So one has to have the capacity to uplift all the people out of their worldliness and take them into that divine experience, the divine beings. So he is the preceptor for the whole world, and he says, Vedanta Shastra Sravana Lasana Bodhaya Purve Imamit Prabandham. I am composing some kind of treatise for the instruction of those who do not have the inclination to undertake the detailed study of the scriptures that expound Vedanta. They do not have inclination to undertake the detailed study of the scriptures that expound Vedanta. For the sake of those people, he is composing some kind of treatise called as Sidhantha Bindu. And afterwards, Sriman Hayagriva Varavinda Karunyamaranda Rasa Prasanga Mandashayodharana Baddha Buddhi Sidhantha Bindum Vipuli Karomi Sidhantha Bindum Vipuli Karomi Srimad Ayagriva Padaravinda Karunya Maranda Rasa Prasanga, enjoying the divine nectar Maranda Rasa of compassion emanating from the lotus feet of Bhagavan Ayagriva. This is said by Ramaraya Kavi that he is enjoying the divine nectar of compassion. Where it is available, it is emanating from the lotus feet of Bhagavan Ayagriva. He says, I am inspired to compose a commentary. Vipuli Karomi. He is inspired to compose a commentary for the benefit of Mandashayodharana Madha Buddhi, for the benefit of the less endowed aspirants. Less endowed aspirants. For their sake, he composed a commentary. So, with all the grace and blessings of Parameshwara, Sri Adi Shankara, Madhusudana Saraswati and his Upasya, Bhagavan Sri Krishna Paramatma, Ramaraya Kavi and his Upasya Bhagavan, Griva, and with all the grace and blessings of the Guru Parampara, we will try to learn something from whatever they have said. So, for each sloka, there is so much said before the sloka by Madhusudana Saraswati in Sidhantha Bindu, and for that, there is used explanation which is given by Ramaraya Kavi in Sidhantha Sindhu. So, we will try to see in the light of their explanation. As we all know that Bhagavan Adi Shankara Sri Shankara Bhagavad experienced the divine truth in himself, and which is the essence of all Upanishads. And this experience he narrated to his Guru, Sri Govindapada, in 10 verses, which are collectively known as Dasa Sloki. His experience, he said. He is not mere articulate in writing something which he has not experienced. We find so many people like that. Their talking might be good, their writing might be good, their being is not. So here Adi Shankara experienced it and he gave it away. Madhusudana Saraswati experienced it, composed it later. Ramaraya Kavi experienced it and composed a commentary. What a combination of all experienced people of divine beingness. And something it has to do to us. If that is such a combination like Tripurti is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, here also we are seeing Adi Shankara, Madhusudana Saraswati and Ramaraya Kavi. Definitely it has to do something to us. Definitely it will. There is no doubt about it. So we will now enter into the beautiful treatise of Madhusudana Saraswati. Ihakalu, please repeat after me. Ihakalu, Sakshat, Paramparaya, Sarvan Eva Jivan, Samudhirshu, Bhagavan Acharya, Sri Shankara, Vivekena Atmanam Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavam Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavam Sanchepena Bodhayitum Dasa Sloki Pranidaya Dasa Sloki Pranidaya Sri Madhusudana Saraswati in Sidhantha says, the revered Acharya Bhagavan Sri Shankara, being desirous of lifting all living beings out of this transmigratory existence. They coming and going and coming and going and taking birth and dying and happiness and suffering and joy and sorrow and all this coming and going, taking birth and dying is there, taking us out of this transmigratory existence with that intention, with the desire of lifting all the living beings out of this whirlpool of coming and going, of joys and sorrows and happiness and misery and good and bad, right and wrong, honor and dishonor, sukha and dukkha, all that, either immediately or mediately. We will see the explanation of those words, immediately and mediately. Composed Dasa Sloki. That is the reason why he composed Dasa Sloki. Sarvan eva jivan samudhirshu. So he wanted to lift all the jivas out of this transmigratory existence. So he composed Dasa Sloki for the purpose of expounding briefly the means of discriminating the not self, anatma, from the self, atma, which is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavam, which is eternal, Nitya, free from stain of ignorance, Shuddha, self-luminous, Buddha, and free from bondage of any agency of doership, enjoyership, kartrutva, bhoktrutva, there is no agency, Mukta. Nitya means eternal. Shuddha means free from stain of ignorance. There is no stain of ignorance. Buddha means self-luminous, Swayam Prakasha. It does not need anything else to illuminate, it is self-luminous. It only illumines everything. And Mukta, free from the bondage of agency. Nitya, Shuddha, Mukta. In order to differentiate by means of discrimination, differentiate between anatma and atma, not self and self, either immediately or mediately. See, it is said by Sri Madhusudana Saraswati, liberation will result immediately from hearing Dasa Sloki. Acha? Yes. Madhusudana Saraswati says, one who has experienced Sri Krishna as Advaita, Paramatvaita Tattva, not merely as Bhagavan who can be perceived or who can be experienced in darshan, but as Paramatvaita Tattva is oneness with Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself. And he says, liberation will result immediately from hearing Dasa Sloki. Is that so? Yes. But the sentence is incomplete. For those who have attained complete purity of mind, for those who have attained complete purity of mind, एक बार सुने हो गया realization, complete purity, उत्तम अधिकारी, immediately for उत्तम अधिकारी. We are Dasa, you are there. That's it. Last, something is still remaining to gain that ultimate absolute state. Dasa Sloki to gain it. For Uttam Adhikari, one will attain complete purity of mind. One hearing of Dasa Sloki is enough. So we can test. Now, then, this is possible for the most competent spiritual aspirant. And for others, दूसरों में क्या करना भाई? दूसरों में क्या करना? तो ऐसे रखते हैं. Everybody will do that. एक बार सुने पहुंच गए. जब बाद में 18 दिन का काम क्या करना? हाँ? अब सुने पहुंच गए. So whatever it is. For others, what about others? Madhusudana says for others mediate, meaning hearing should be followed by reflection, mental reflection, manana, and contemplative dhyana, meditation. Reflection and meditation. Hearing is not enough. To reflect, and meditate. That is what others are doing. So we will test and see whether we belong to others or we belong to this. Huh? That is what is said very beautifully by Madhusudana Saraswati. One man asked his friend, "Hey, whenever I see your wife is always in the kitchen, she must be a great cook." And that man says, actual reason is the phone connection is in the kitchen. अपने अपनी मतलब mind has so many matlabs, but here Shankaracharya, Madhusudana Saraswati, Ramaraya are trying to give it the ultimate matlab. That is the attempt. After Sidhantha Bindu, we will see Sidhantha Sindhu. And the first point what we are seeing here. Sidhantha Sindhu Ramaraya says the knowledge which is present in all is consciousness. That which is present in all in the form of knowledge is consciousness. And that is Atman. And that is the pure self. And that is the Brahman. Beautiful Ramaraya with experience. Because he was an exponent in Vishishtadvaita, but Upasaka of Ayagriva. A stage has come to him where Ayagriva himself had to appear in front of him and tell, "Bas karo, and you are running with me. Get into that Paramatma." So that is why Ramaraya says, the knowledge which is present in all is consciousness, and that is Atman, that is the self, pure self, and that is Brahman. And that is the innermost self in all of us. So when it is said the knowledge which is present in all is consciousness, and that is the pure self, and that is the Atman, and that is the Brahman, so kya hai? Now to make it more connected to us, that which is the innermost self in all of us, deep inside, the Pratyagatma, innermost self, which is conscious of our mind, the thoughts in the mind, and intellect, the ideas in the intellect, the memory, the chitta, the vrittis in the chitta, the ahankara, the areas expressed of the ahankara, the body, the senses, everything, the innermost self. That which illumines all these things. That is Pratyagatma. Pratyagatma is Brahman, Brahman is the Atman, Atman is that knowledge which is there in all as consciousness. So all of us have this. Right now we say we have this, but later on in the end we said we are this. But if we have this, why do we not know about it? If we are that, where is not like that? That is why this is. If we are already that and we know that we are already that, we have experienced that we are already that, then there is no need of anything. So that is why this. So Ramaraya will say this. That is the innermost self, Pratyagatma. All the objects other than that, other than what? Other than Pratyagatma, which is Atma, which is Brahman, which is the knowledge, which is the consciousness, which is existing in all, which is all. Other than that Pratyagatma, for us as a sadhaka, other than that innermost self, everything else other than that is anatma. Chalo. All the body, the mind, the senses, anatma. And with this body, mind and senses, we are seeing other bodies, anatma. Other objects, anatma. Not self. Other than Pratyagatma, everything else is anatma. Even our body, it is not self. Even our mind, it is not self. Never mind, it is not self. My mind is no, it is so polluted. You are not that. What? Yes. You are not that because you are the self and the mind is not the self. Senses are not that. So, all are anatma, including all the objects, whether it is pot or vessel or diamond or gold. Or mind, minerals, or minds, all are anatma. So how beautifully the explanation is being given here. Because we do not have the viveka, discrimination of what is Atma, what is Anatma. This is what it is. Atma means what? Pratyagatma, innermost self. And what is that? Brahman. What is that? Atman. What is that? A knowledge which is present in all as consciousness. Now what am I actually? But. And other than that, all is anatma. Because we don't have that viveka, discrimination, we consider all these objects as of the form of self. We consider these objects as the form of self, as Atma, and we consider Atma as Anatma. This is what it is. Exactly opposite we are considering. We consider Atma. We just put it aside. It's an object. We consider it as Anatma. All this is body, I, mind, I, intellect, I, memory, I, ego, I, all the things, mind. All these we consider as Atma. Atma itself we consider as Anatma. That is the reason why we think that body is Atma. The true self is considered as Anatma. Both are false. What is Anatma is considered as Atma. What is not self is considered as self. What is self is considered as not self. So both are false. Incorrect, wrong. Due to this wrong thinking, we consider the body as I, body as us. I am the body, I. Mind, I. Intellect, I. All I. The body, mind, senses, I. Anybody saying anything to this mind, I. My thought, if your thought and my thought are conflicting, I. This idea. And actually, idea don't know what is idea. And I fight with the ego who doesn't know देख ले होगा तेरे को। अरे तू देख सका तो दिख जाता वो परमात्मा बोल के, अभी क्या देख लेना है तेरे को, देख ले होगा तेरे को, क्या देख ले, देखो सीधा सीधा देखो तो दिखता। I don't know what am I, you don't know what are you, and I and you are in fight. It is confusion. So it is said, this is because of adhyasa. We got into this wrong state of understanding that we are the body, I am the body. Consider body as God. Due to this, the jivas get into the bondage of the samsara bandha. Unless this wrong notion or wrong understanding is removed, the samsara brahman will not be removed. The illusion of samsara will not go away. That is the reason Sri Shankaracharya is expounding the discrimination of Atma from Anatma. Dasa Sloki is discriminating what is Atma, what is Anatma. He is discriminating Atma from Anatma. That is why Dasa Sloki has manifested. The only reason why Dasa Sloki has manifested is because of this. One patient went to the doctor and said, "Doctor, I got vertigo and I feel as if I am drunk while I am walking. While I am walking, because of vertigo, I feel I am drunk." Then the doctor asked, "Do you drink alcohol?" He said, "No, I am a teetotaler. I never drink alcohol." Then the doctor said, "How lucky you are." How lucky I am? I am seeing you, I am at vertigo, I feel as if I am drunk while walking. Doctor said, "How lucky you are. I spend 1,000 rupees every day to get that feel. I am so stressed because of my profession and because of obsession at home. So, to get that feeling, I spend 1,000 rupees every day. And you are getting it free. Fukat mein. 1,000 बच गया, but नशा चढ़ गया. No spending of money on it. How lucky. Patient is suffering. He doesn't want that. The doctor thinks something else. That is how it is. What is suffering is not considered as suffering by doctor. Doctor is thinking it is a blessing. And what is blessing according to doctor is considered by patient as suffering. अब क्या बोलना? Same thing. आत्मा को अनात्मा समझे, अनात्मा को आत्मा समझे. समझ बैठे? खामोश बैठे तो हो गया. गड़बड़ करते बैठे, लड़ते बैठे, गिरते बैठे, मारते बैठे. That is what has happened now. If they remain quiet, that is okay. But they are doing so many things. That is the reason Sri Shankaracharya has given Dasa Sloki to clearly make us understand. Atma क्या है? अनात्मा क्या है? What is Atma? So then, in the Sidhantha Bindu, there is one nice system which is followed by the great masters. They only raise a Purvapakshi, an objection, to make us more clear in our understanding. So the objection here is, अरे किसको नहीं मालूम भाई कि आत्मा अनात्मा क्या बात है? Who doesn't know? Is there anybody who doesn't know? Who doesn't know what am I? Who doesn't differentiate between I and not I? All of us know. I am not I. This is not I. Am I the mind? Am I the potter? At least इतना knowledge समझदारी नहीं है हमको. This much knowledge I don't have. I know I am this and I am not that. What is happening to me? Any benefit? कुछ फायदा? Suffering ही रहेगा. What are you talking? You are simply telling आत्मा को अनात्मा से differentiate करेंगे. किसको नहीं मालूम? Who doesn't know? I have that आत्मज्ञान. If that is आत्मज्ञान, I know I am not the mind. I am not the mind. I am mind. All of us have this knowledge. Is it not? Is there anybody who is considering I am a chair, I am a pot, I am gold biscuit, how much ever you want that? You know the difference between what am I and what I am not. All objects I am not. I am separate from the objects. You know that. So, here it is said, the not self, which is referred as this, not self is referred as this. Who doesn't know what is this? This mic, this table, this desk, this stand, this light, and the self is referred as I. Is it not in normal colloquial language? I means self, myself. This means what is not myself. This means object. Who does not know what is I and what is not I? अभी तुम क्या बात कर रहे हो नया चीज? Who does not know? हाँ? And the self is denoted by the word I. What is not self is denoted by the word this. Tell me, is there anybody who doesn't know what is this and what is that? Is there anybody confused with that? Is anybody confused with the I is this and this with I? Huh? I'm sorry, I don't think this is angry. Huh? So, but in spite of this knowledge, what is happening? Sorrow, I'm still suffering. I'm still sorrowful. I'm making others also sorrowful. Sorrow is continuing. So, what you are trying to say, it is already said, it is already known. I know it. And what is the use of a grantha? A grantha means it should say what you don't know. What is not known should be made known. And second point is prayojana grantha. There should be some usefulness. Some utility should be there. I don't see. I already know it and sorrow is not going. So there is neither utility nor it is revealing anything which I don't know. So this grantha is useless. Dasa Sloki is not useful. And there is no purpose that the things are. क्या करेंगे इसलिए बंद कर दें. No assessment. Very nice logical argument. They won't be beautiful. So this is futile. The exposition of the nature of the self in this manner is futile. So then, what is said here is experiences tell that I don't say that I am a God or I am a God. And experiences say that there is sorrow, there is suffering to this I, whatever I consider as I, there is suffering. And which I think as Atma or Ahankara. And what is other than Ahankara is Idamkara. Idam. So there is no prayojana, so there is no usefulness. It looks nice. So then, again, Madhusudana Saraswati, in the Ramaraya, Kavi also explains it in a similar manner about this doubt very beautifully. So that which no one knows, Grantha should tell that which no one knows, and there should be usefulness or utility of the Grantha. If we have to come to listen to this, there should be something which we know, which we come to know, which we don't know. And then there is some usefulness or utility of it. If that is not serving, there is no need. So Purva Paksha objection raised says, both are correct. So best. Sort of, that's what is there. But then, again, in the Sidhantha Bindu, third point, Atma, Anatma, Viveka is necessary. That is being explored. Nachit bhasyatvena lakshanena idam paraspamapi Indriya manasam pratibhasatah ahankarasparatvena tadaviveka. So it is said it is not so. Even the body and the senses and mind, which should in fact be referred to as this. So body, mind and senses actually should be referred as this because they are all illumined by your consciousness and are therefore insentient. Whatever is illumined by your consciousness is not self-luminous, is not conscious, so it is insentient. Body, mind, senses are insentient. They should be referred as this, but they are denoted by the word I. I denote the body, mind, senses as I due to non-discrimination caused by illusion resulting from ignorance. That is why this is happening. So, actually, I should say body, mind, senses are not I. I refer them as this, but due to the ignorance, what am I doing? I am referring them as I. And he nacha shuddhe api Atmani Dukhitva Yabhimana. Because of this non-discrimination, suffering, etc., misery, whatever it is, are attributed wrongly to the pure self. They are attributed wrongly to the pure self. So because of that, suffering is continuing. See, whatever suffering that belongs to the body, mind and senses, which are to be referred as this, if suppose somebody comes and strikes this, and this is hurt, what do we say? I am hurt. No, this is hurt. This is damaged. This is not in good condition. But when something happens to the body, what I say? I am not in good condition. Something happens to the body, I am not happy. I am not peaceful. So why body, mind, senses are to be referred as this, they are being referred as I. That is why I am suffering. So what will happen now? This can be removed. Whatever is to be considered as this, I am considering as I, and that has to be properly understood. When I know what I is I and what is not I is referred as this, then I come out of the suffering with that knowledge. So that is the reason why this Grantha has to be expounded. You have to listen to this. You will go into it more elaborately tomorrow. We will take this up again and then go into detail. Somebody said, son asked the father, what is the difference between a lawyer and a doctor? And the father said, my dear son, when the case is over, the lawyers ask themselves, did I leave anything out? Lawyers ask themselves, did I leave anything out? And doctors ask themselves, did I leave anything in? That is the difference. So, whatever has to be kept out should be kept out. Whatever should be kept in should be kept in. Whatever should be kept in category as this should be kept in that category. Whatever is to be kept in category as that should be kept in that category. That is the exposure. Om Bhagishwaraya Vidmahe Hayagreevaya Dhimahi Tanno Hayagreeva Prachodayat Om Akshareshwaraya Vidmahe Mantra Rajaya Dhimahi Tanno Hayagreeva Prachodayat Hayagreeva Om Hamsasoham Vishwavatirna Rupaya Chinmayananda Rupini Tubhyam Namo Hayagreeva Vidyarajaya Vishnave Swaha Hamsasoham Om Shri Mahlaum Om Shri Hlaum Om Namo Bhagavate Hayagreevaya विष्णवे मह्यं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रायश्च स्वाहा। These are very powerful mantras connected with Bhagavan. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।